Sir, that boy you're looking for, boy, he lives in my house.
He froze when he heard the tiny voice behind him. Sir, that boy you're looking for, he lives in my house. Henry turned, heart pounding. The girl couldn't be more than 8, her braids messy, her eyes full of something between fear and hope. For a moment, the world went silent, only the sound of the wind, brushing through the alley where Hope had long stopped visiting. Sweetheart, what did you just say? Henry asked softly. She swallowed hard. His name's Lucas. My mom says I shouldn't tell anyone. But he cries every night. Henry's breath caught. The boy she described sounded exactly like his missing son. And as the child led him toward the poorest street in town, something deep inside him whispered, "Be careful, Henry. You might not be ready for what you'll find." And that's where her story truly began. Before we dive deeper, season's greetings, everyone. Please, if you're listening to this right now, I want to prove my mom wrong. She said, I can't even reach 3,000 subscribers. Help me show her that stories like this matter. Subscribe to King's Folklore. And let's keep breathing life into tales that refuse to die. Now let's continue. Henry had searched for a year through cities, churches, police stations, and every lost hope imaginable. A billionaire who could buy half the city, yet couldn't buy back his son. It was a cold December evening when he stopped near a rundown market street, staring at a small poster, the same one he'd printed months ago. Missing. Lucas Henry Dawson, age 6. The edges were torn. The ink was fading. But Henry couldn't bring himself to take it down. That's when he heard the voice. Sir, that boy you're looking for, he lives in my house. Henry turned sharply. A little girl stood there, clutching a worn teddy bear. She had big brown eyes and a curious innocence that disarmed him. What's your name, sweetheart? Amelia, she whispered. He crouched down. Amelia. What do you mean? He lives in your house? She looked around before answering. Mama says not to tell strangers. But he cries at night. He says he wants to go home. Henry's chest tightened. Can you show me where you live? Amelia hesitated, biting her lip. If Mama sees you, she'll get mad. I'll be careful, Henry promised. Just show me from afar. They walked through narrow alleys, lined with rusted fences and laundry fluttering like tired flags. Henry's shiny black car looked out of place in that world. He followed Amelia to a small house, its paint peeling, its windows cracked. That's our house, she said, pointing. Through the open curtain, Henry saw movement, a woman setting a table, her posture tense. And beside her, a small boy with the same curly hair, same timid smile, same scar above his eyebrow. Lucas. Henry's world stopped. He wanted to run in, scoop his son into his arms, but something in Amelia's eyes told him, wait. Is that your brother? Henry asked, softly. Amelia looked down. Mama says he's my cousin, but he doesn't look like anyone in our family, and she gets mad when I ask. Henry's voice cracked. Amelia, I think that boy is my son. She looked up, confused. Your son? Yes. His name is Lucas. Before Henry could say more, the front door swung open. A woman stepped out, tired eyes, messy hair, apron still tied. Amelia, get inside. Amelia froze. Mama, this is... I said inside. The woman's voice cut like glass. Henry took a breath. Ma'am, I don't mean harm. I think that boy. I don't know you, and there's no boy here, but my nephew. Please leave. Henry's jaw clenched. I just saw him through the window. You saw wrong, she snapped. Then, lowering her voice, some people shouldn't dig up ghosts, sir. Let them rest. She turned, pushing Amelia inside and locking the door. Henry stood there for a long moment, his pulse loud in his ears. He wasn't sure what haunted him more, her denial or her fear. He returned to his car, staring at the house. The porch light flickered weakly, like a warning. He whispered, Lucas. If you're in there, I'm not giving up. That night, Henry couldn't sleep. He replayed every moment. Amelia's innocence, Clare's anger, The glimpse of that boy. Everything pointed to one truth. His son was alive. The next morning, he drove back, but the house was empty. No sign of Claire, no Amelia, no Lucas. Days passed. Then weeks, until one evening, a knock echoed at his mansion door. When he opened it, there she was, Amelia, alone, dirty, crying. "Sir, I found something. I think it's about your son." She handed him a small notebook, old and torn, with the name Lucas written inside along with other names, crossed out in red ink. Henry felt his stomach twist. "Where did you get this?" "From Mama's drawer. She said if anyone finds it, bad people will come. But I think bad people already did." Henry knelt beside her, voice trembling. "You did the right thing, Amelia. You're very brave." And as the wind howled outside, Henry realized this wasn't just about finding his son anymore. It was about uncovering something much darker. He looked toward the horizon, where the city lights bled into night. Whatever it took, he would bring Lucas home and protect the little girl who had risked everything to help him. Henry held the notebook like it might vanish if he blinked too long. The paper smelled like dust and fear. Each page had a child's name, an age, and a strange mark beside it, an X, drawn in different colors. Some names were underlined, some were crossed out. Amelia sat beside him on the couch, her legs dangling, eyes wide. "Sir, what does it mean?" Henry's voice was low. "I don't know yet, sweetheart, but I think your mom's hiding more than just my son." He turned another page. At the bottom, scribbled in shaky handwriting, was something that made his heart freeze. "Delivery delayed. Child bonded too strongly." Below it was Lucas's name. Henry whispered, "Bonded too strongly?" He stared at the words like they might rearrange into something less horrifying. Amelia tugged at his sleeve. "Mama cried when she wrote that. I saw her. She said she did something bad, but she couldn't let them take him." Henry looked at her. "Who are they?" "Amelia." She shrugged, helplessly. "I don't know. But sometimes a man comes to our house at night. He wears a cap and gives her envelopes." Henry's stomach knotted. He knew this world, the world where money erased conscience and power silenced screams. He stood, pacing. "We have to find your mom, before they do." That night, Henry's private investigator, Mason, arrived. The man looked through the notebook, shaking his head. "This isn't random. These initials beside the names, H.T.R. They show up in a child trafficking case from 3 years ago. We thought the ring was gone." Henry's hands clenched. "And Claire's involved?" Mason sighed. "If this is her handwriting, yes, but she might have gone rogue. Maybe she tried to keep the boy for herself." Henry slammed his fist against the table. "She stole my son, and now she's missing. We need to find her." Amelia flinched at the loud sound. Henry softened, kneeling beside her. "I'm sorry, darling. I'm just scared." She looked up with tears. "I'm scared too. Mama's not bad, sir. She sings to us. She prays every night. Maybe she didn't mean to hurt anyone." Henry sighed deeply. "Maybe you're right. Maybe she was trying to save him from something worse." The next morning, Henry took Amelia to the police station. But before they even walked in, Mason called. "Henry, don't go inside. I just traced Claire's phone signal. It's active again, near the old train depot by Riverdale." Henry's eyes widened. "Riverdale? That's abandoned land." "Exactly," Mason said. "Meet me there." They reached the depot at dusk. The air smelled of rust and rain. Broken trains sat like metal skeletons. Henry's heart raced as he stepped through the shadows. Then a voice. "Don't move." Claire emerged from the dark, her face pale, eyes wild, holding a kitchen knife that trembled in her hand. "Stay where you are, Henry." He froze. Amelia gasped, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, please put it down." Claire shook her head. "You don't understand. They'll kill him if I give him back." Henry's voice broke. "Claire, he's my son." Claire's breath hitched. "And he became mine too. You think they let me keep him for free?" I had to pay with everything, my name, my life. I was supposed to hand him over, but I couldn't. He calls me Mommy, Henry. I couldn't let him go. Henry took a slow step forward. Then help me make it right. We can protect him. We can protect Amelia. Claire's eyes darted to her daughter. Amelia, you shouldn't be here. Mama, please. I don't want you to get hurt. But before anyone could move, headlights swept across the depot, 2 black SUVs rolling in fast. Gunshots cracked in the air. Claire screamed, grabbing Amelia and diving behind an old train car. Henry ducked beside them. Through the chaos, he saw a man step out of the SUV. The same man from the surveillance photos. The one who'd been paying Claire. He shouted, "Bring the kids! The boss wants them alive." Claire's eyes filled with terror. No, no, not again. Henry looked at her, the fear, the guilt, the heartbreak. And in that instant, he saw not a monster, but a mother trapped in her own sins. He whispered, "Claire, trust me, this time." She hesitated, then nodded. Together, they helped Amelia crawl through a broken section of the train wall. Mason returned fire, covering them. The SUVs sped away moments later, sirens wailing in the distance. When it was over, Claire sat on the cold floor, shaking. Her knife clattered to the ground. Henry stepped closer. "It's over. They're gone." She looked at him, eyes full of tears. "No. It's never over. They'll always find another child." Henry knelt beside her. "Not this time. We'll make sure they don't." Hours later, Claire was taken into custody, not as a monster, but as a key witness. Henry promised to help her get protection, in exchange for helping authorities expose the entire ring. As police lights faded, Amelia clung to Henry's hand, whispering, "Will Mama go to jail forever?" Henry swallowed. "She'll have to face what she's done, but we'll make sure she's safe." Amelia nodded, wiping her tears. "She used to say, 'Love makes you do crazy things.'" Henry looked at her softly. "Then let's make sure love does something good this time." He held her close, feeling both the ache of loss and the strange warmth of new beginnings. Because even in the darkest stories, light finds its way back home. The days that followed felt like living inside someone else's dream. The city was quiet again, but Henry's heart wasn't. He'd gotten his son back and somehow gained another child too. Lucas sat on the porch steps of Henry's mansion, legs swinging, holding a toy car in one hand. Beside him, Amelia was teaching him how to braid her doll's hair. Their laughter echoed through the morning air, soft and healing. Henry watched from the doorway, arms folded, eyes tired, but peaceful. He had seen so much darkness, and yet, this 2 children laughing felt like the loudest sound of grace. Mason stepped beside him. "Never thought I'd see you smiling again." Henry chuckled. "Neither did I." He looked at the notebook now sealed in a plastic bag, evidence that had exposed an entire trafficking network. Claire's confession had helped the police rescue 14 missing children, 14 families restored, but Claire herself sat behind bars, awaiting trial. One afternoon, Henry took Amelia to visit her mother. The air in the visiting room was heavy, a space between guilt and love. Claire entered, her orange jumpsuit hanging loose, her face pale but calm. When Amelia saw her, she ran forward. "Mama." Claire knelt, holding her tight, tears spilling freely. "Baby, I'm so sorry. I tried to keep everyone safe, but I hurt people instead." Amelia shook her head. "You kept Lucas safe. That means you still have good in you." Claire looked up at Henry, her voice trembling. "I don't expect forgiveness. But thank you for not hating me." Henry's eyes softened. "Hate doesn't fix broken things, love does." For a moment, there was silence. Then Claire whispered, "Take care of her, please." "I already am," Henry replied. "She's part of our family now." Weeks turned into months. Henry's house, once silent and echoing, now smelled of pancakes, crayons, and laughter. Lucas, no longer the frightened boy from that broken home, ran freely through the halls, his laughter filling every corner. Amelia followed him, holding her new school bag tight. Henry straightened her collar. "You ready, kiddo?" She nodded. "If I get nervous, can I think of you as my dad?" Henry smiled, his eyes glistening. You don't have to think it, Amelia. You are my daughter. She grinned, her missing front tooth flashing. Then, I'll make you proud, Dad. He knelt, pulling both kids into his arms. You already do. That night, as the city lights blinked like distant fireflies, Henry stood on the balcony, the winter wind brushing against his face. He whispered to himself, sometimes family isn't found in blood. It's found in those who choose to stay, even when they don't have to. He thought of Clare, a woman broken by the world, yet brave enough to love. He thought of Amelia, a child who turned strangers into a family, and Lucas, the reason hope never died. For the first time in a long while, Henry didn't feel like a millionaire. He just felt rich, because love, in its purest form, doesn't need money to be powerful. It just needs a heart willing to forgive. Moral of the story. In the end, Henry learned that sometimes the greatest miracles don't come wrapped in wealth, they come through people we never expected to meet. Claire's mistakes were heavy, but her love saved a child's life. Amelia's courage rebuilt a family, and Lucas's innocence reminded everyone that light always finds a way through the cracks. No matter how dark the world becomes, love real, sacrificial love still wins. If this story touched you, hit that subscribe button for more emotional tales from King's Folklore. And even if it didn't, come on, subscribe anyway, we'll win you over next time. Drop a comment, like the video, and let's keep the stories alive. Thanks for watching.